Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Catherine and this is So Much Sewing. Today's video is 9 designer ready-to-wear garments that caught my eye and patterns and fabric suggestions I have to see if I can replicate those designs. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you very much for being here. I hope that by the end of this video you will have clicked the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, shared my video, done all that great stuff. And my returning viewers, thanks so much for coming back to see me here today. You know I appreciate your company and I appreciate the comments and chats that we have going on in the comment section down below. So please do keep those coming. So I went internet shopping on a store that I used to buy a lot of clothing from when I was larger. It is a plus size store, but its size range starts at probably maybe a size smaller than I am currently, and then goes up to, sort of like 3XL or a New Zealand size, sort of 26 kind of thing. And so I used to buy a lot of clothing from these guys, a few years ago. But I haven't even looked at their website for a while, and I just popped on to see what they had, on their shelves at the moment, and I found a whole bunch of really amazing pieces that I would like to have in my wardrobe. Sadly, at the moment, along with many other people during these interesting times, I probably don't have the disposable income, so I won't be able to purchase these designer items, but I might just be able to recreate them with similar patterns and fabrics that I already have in my stash. So these patterns won't be exact dupes, but they're just patterns that I've found that I think look similar enough to just give you the sort of overall vibe of the garment, the ready-to-wear garment, or they might just need a little bit of tweaking, cropping or changing sleeves or that sort of thing. So some of the items that I'm going to show you are wintry because in the southern hemisphere in New Zealand here we are going through winter at the moment. The first one is a coat, and so that is very wintry, but not all of them are wintry. So there are patterns and garments here for trans seasons, across the seasons. So it doesn't matter what season you're in at the moment, there's probably something in here that might interest you. And if you're not interested in any of these things right this moment, then maybe you'll keep them in the back of your mind and you might think of them again when the appropriate season does pop around. The first pattern I'd like to talk about is the classic coat, and it's by a designer called Lala, which is Lost and Led Astray, who is a New Zealand designer, and I've been wearing her clothes for years, and she's really great at making a plus size person feel comfortable in their clothing. And this coat here is absolutely gorgeous. First of all, I just adore that colour, that sort of cranberry colour. I've made a couple of items that colour so far already this winter, so it's good to know that I'm on trend, even though I don't know that I'm on trend. So this is big, wide lapel collar. I like the notches in it, but I also like a shawl collar. Love a big, voluminous coat, keep you snugly warm, and that is right up my alley. So I came up with a couple of patterns that I thought were similar to this coat, not exact matches, but similar. I found the 7 coat. In fact, I didn't find the 7 coat. I used to have a Cashmerette monthly subscription where you pay X amount of dollars per month, and every month you get a free pattern. They put out a new free pattern for the members every month. And you get discount codes and you get master classes and things like that as part of your monthly fee. But one of the months was the 7 coat. And at the time, I didn't need a coat, but I downloaded it and popped it in my digital filing. So this, I like that there's the sort of empire line waist definition, which isn't on the classic coat. The ready-to-wear item I just showed you. I like the flare on it. There might actually be, to be honest, a little bit too much flare on it for me. So if I made this coat, I might sort of cut that down a little bit. So that is one of the options that I came up with. Another pattern I found is the Juliet coat by Hand London. It's got a lovely shawl collar. It's another swing coat. As I say, the ready-to-wear one I showed you wasn't swing, but obviously I like a swing coat. In this red version, I like the way it does up nice and low in the front there, and I think the red fabric looks a bit drapier than the sort of camel coloured fabric that they've made there. It's got a big pleat down the back seam as well, which I hadn't noticed before. So I think that is a good option. Now the Oslo coat by Tazuti is more like the ready-to-wear coat that I showed you because it's more straight through. I love that big oversized look to it, that big snuggly looking collar. I love everything about that coat. In fact, Sarah, my sister, has been talking about making this coat as well. You might have heard us talking about this on the channel before, but anyway, so that is another option. This is a big 4 pattern, and I've actually just realized that it's not in my size. Unfortunately, it only goes up to a US size 12. And I think I would be a US size, let me have a look, a US size 20, judging by the measurements that they've given on the back there. But I love this shawl hoodie thing. I love, love, love it. Actually, the, what's it called? It's on the tip of my tongue. Octave, it's the Octave coat, and I have made that before. So actually, yeah, like this, but not in my size, but actually the Octave coat by Love Notions is very, very similar to that with an amazing hood. So that's another option. Burda 6394, just pretty nice, simple wool tweed fabrics. Yeah. Nice long line. I would not do it up with a belt around the middle. I would put a button on that, but that also is a nice big oversized coat. The Complete Me dress is another New Zealand designer, actually, Deanne Hobbs. She has a couple of clothing labels and has been around for a long time. So the Complete Me dress is just a simple throw on. It's actually a bit more to it than it looks. You can't really see the features in this fabric because the fabric is so busy. Where do they start from? There are some big, deep French, they call them French pleats, so that they start around about here on the bodice. So big, deep French pleats there. So I think with this dress, I feel like it's probably got a bit of a tendency to be a bit too sort of sack-like on my body. I know that's not a very flattering term, is it, sack-like? But I just feel like it wouldn't be flattering on my body because there's too much going on. I like an oversized fit, as we all know, but I realised I can't have anything that swamps me too much. And so I feel like this dress, while I like the overall silhouette of it, this particular dress I think would swamp me a bit. But I've got some options to show you. I've had this in my stash for ages, written all over the cover, as we so often do. I think this would be a really great alternative. It's got all these style lines in it. So it's got quite a different style, really, when you look at the detail to the Complete Me dress. But I like the cocoon shape overall. And I think with all those style lines on it, it just somehow would help break up that big volume of fabric that's going on there. And I also would lengthen that. And I've got some fabric that I think would look great in this, sort of cocoony or trapeze style, just slip on, easy to wear dress. It is this linen with a self stripe in it. This I got from, I'm very sure it was the Fine Cloth Co. in New Zealand. I love this. And so I think this would be so light and drapey and comfortable to wear in that version of the complete me dress. I also think the field dress by Merchant and Mills would be a good option for this dress here too. I've made this 2 or 3 times before. I have lengthened it, and I'll see if I can find a photo. I know I can, of a green version that I made, and I've lengthened it just by putting a rectangle panel on the bottom of the sort of A-line shape of the field dress, and then that A-line shape coupled with the rectangle on the bottom just gives it a bit of a cocoon shape. I would lengthen the sleeves on the fielder. I don't know if I would use rib. I might use rib around the neck and the bottom of the sleeve, or I might not. It just depends. But I think that would be a really great option. And the last idea I had was the V-neck dress by the Assembly line. Now, obviously, it's a V-neck dress, and the dress I showed you is round neck. But hey, if you fancied a V-neck instead of a round neck, I think the V-neck dress is a great option. I've made this before and absolutely loved the dress. Unfortunately, I shrunk out of it rather quickly, so I no longer fit it. But I love it. I made it in the most gorgeous, soft, brushed sort of linen. And yeah, love the shape on this on me. So yeah, that is another option. One thing I noticed as I was scrolling through, there's a lot of sort of blacks, dark colours, and many viewers comment on how both myself and my sister Sarah seem to like dark colours and black. So I've sort of realised it's a New Zealand thing. Not everybody likes to wear black and moody colours. People like to wear bright colours. Of course they do. But I think I think we wear a lot of black and dark colours in New Zealand. I don't know why. Black is our signature colour when it comes to our country. So, just worth mentioning. So this dress here, I love so much. And it's on special at the moment. So actually, I wonder if maybe I might splash out on this one. I just love it. And I don't have a pattern that looks anywhere near this dress to show you. So if you know a pattern that looks similar to this dress, please tell me, because I would absolutely love it. Yeah, I think that's quite cute, the way they've got the eyelets on the pocket, and it's done up with, that parachute bungee cord by the looks of it. I presume it's stretchy. It might not be. But yeah, I love that. I love that diagonal shape, asymmetrical shape on the bust line. Oh, I wonder if hubby would let me buy that. This is the chopper jacket. Again, it is by Deanne Hobbs. In fact, I think the last dress was by Deanne Hobbs as well. Yes, it was. So she's quite a popular designer for plus sizes in New Zealand and at this store where I'm shopping. I like that detail on the back there, that sort of curved back vent, and I haven't been able to sort of find anything, a sewing pattern where they incorporate that on the back of the jacket. So that could take a bit of searching, but again, if you know of one, please let me know. I particularly like this black and white check version of the chopper jacket, and here she's wearing them with some very cool pants. I think they're called the chopper pants, but I don't know that those pants are for me and my body shape, but I just think that suit is just really very cool. And I like the overall sort of airy feeling of it. It's all oversized. The fabric is obviously a little bit structured, but not too structured, quite thin. So that is just so cool. The pattern suggestions I came up with for that are the Sterling jacket by the Sewing Workshop. It's really... it's quite different, but it does have, some sort of detail on the back there. Obviously, the neckline is quite different, but there's lots of great detail on that jacket. And so I feel like this is a good option. And I found Le Blazer by Atelier Brunette. I would crop this. I would crop this just a bit, and the sort of camely coloured fabric they have it shown in is it looks sort of thicker and much more structured than this grey version that they have shown here that looks maybe a bit more sort of linen-like. Well, I think I'd like something in the middle, something with a bit of structure, but that's not too heavy. Another option is the Pona jacket by Helen's Closet. She has a really great size range. She has really easy to follow instructions. I've made this jacket and I have loved it before. Nice and unstructured and comfy to wear. And another couple of options, I thought they're both, well, I hate to say it, but almost the same pattern, is the Lauren jacket by Style Arc, which I actually would crop. Obviously, that's a very long line jacket, but if I cropped that right up to there and put the patch pockets, move those up, I think that's an option. There is also an expansion pack for this pattern now where you can get a notched collar and different sleeves. So there's that. And the Heather blazer by Friday Pattern Company. I don't have that pattern, but I do like it, and I know it's very similar to the Lauren, but I mean, I've got the Lauren with the skinny shawl collar on it, but I want the wider collar. So if I was to make that, I would have to buy the expansion pack. So would I buy the expansion pack to go along with the Lauren, or would I buy the Friday Pattern Company Heather blazer? So that's a choice I would need to make. Again, crop it. And this is another option that I have here. Again, I would crop it and just pull that pocket up. That would be a nice, simple option. So many options for that comfy blazer. And I've got a couple of fabric options in my stash to show you. The first one is this kind of almost camo type linen. It's a really lovely soft linen. It has been washed and it's sitting in my stash ready to go, although I'll probably wash it again before I make it up. It's probably been washed and sitting in my stash for a long time. So I think that would fit nicely into that pattern, or rather make up nicely into that pattern with a sort of a structured but not too structured sort of puffy, airy look to it. And another option for the chopper jacket is this cotton. It's sort of it's quite textured. It's quite a sort of a airy, puffy fabric. I don't know how to describe it. I'm wondering how Patrick from the Great British Sewing Bee would describe this. But it's, yeah, I think this would absolutely behaves so well in that version of the chopper jacket, whichever version I choose. I love this Simone dress. It's by Jellicoe, which is another New Zealand designer, and actually Deanne Hobbs, who designed a couple of the other pieces I've just shown you, is the designer for Jellicoe as well. So she's a prolific designer here in New Zealand. And her designs are usually very oversized and relaxed and casual, although she does have some sort of fancy evening pieces as well. But this is just a gorgeous, comfy, relaxed t-shirt dress. I mean, who doesn't want to pop that on and swan around all day in complete and utter comfort? The options, I thought, I haven't found anything quite exactly like that, because it's got satin sleeves and the round shirt, sort of shirt tail hem on the bottom. So I haven't found anything that's 100% the same, and the fact that it's so long. But I did find, and I do have this pattern, the lounge dress by Pattern Emporium. It's got some sort of bat wingy type sleeves on it. They're not satin sleeves, but I think that's okay. I think I would make a smaller size in the top just to make sure that those were not too floppy, and perhaps do some grading on the hips there, and also lengthen it, of course, because the lounge dress is sort of knee length. But I think I could easily lengthen that down a bit, And so that is one option. And another option is the peppermint pattern. It's in conjunction with In the Folds. So it appeared in the Peppermint magazine one month. It's the jersey dress. So it has the satin sleeves, but it doesn't have the shape on the bottom. So potentially I could mash those together. I have both those patterns. So, maybe I can mash those together and come up with something. I haven't got any fabric in mind for that, but I think it would need to be cotton. I've done sewing with some bamboo and some rayon jerseys, but I think I've got a sneaking suspicion I might prefer cotton. So that's going to be my next port of call is if I make this dress, I would make it in some cotton jersey. Although I do have some black French terry, I won't bother getting it out and showing you. It's black French terry, but I think that would work. It's cotton French terry, and I think that would work really well in this as well. The next garment I found on the Zebrano website that I fell in love with and decided I want to make is the Dylan jacket, and the designer is Italia, and I don't know who this brand is. I presume they are an overseas brand. Actually, I see they've made it in a stretch fabric, which gives me some more ideas, but they've sort of said it's a sort of a trench style jacket. I like the double breast on it. I can really see this jacket, this sort of style jacket. I think I would really like wearing that. Patch pockets on the front. Oh, actually, no, it's got welt pockets. I would be lazy probably and put patch pockets on the front. But you never know. I might be feeling adventurous one day. But in any case, has it got epaulettes? Oh, yeah, it's got epaulettes on the shoulder. I don't know if I would bother with epaulettes. But in any case, the pattern that I came up with is fairly much an exact match to this, really, is Butterick 7007. So this has got, has it got side slant, it's got welty pockets too. So maybe this is the universe's way of telling me, girl, you need to learn how to do welt pockets. So maybe I will do that. And I mean, this jacket is absolutely perfect, isn't it? It's almost exactly the same as the one on the Zebrano website. And I'm pretty sure I can make that. And I've got just the fabric in mind. You might have seen me talk about this before. This is, it's got navy and a teal colour and all that glorious lurex and other shiny coloured threads in there, like the cerise colour here. And there is some electric blue. There's just a tiny tad here, but in other parts of the fabric there's electric blue as well. It's fairly lightweight, but it is a lot of wool content, and I can see through it. I don't know if you can. But, when you hold it up to the light, you can see through it. So I would line it. But I think this fabric in that pattern would look amazing. I love this shirt. The Gourd shirt by Lala again, Lost in Lead Astray, New Zealand designer. So cool. So cool. Love a big oversized shirt. Has it got any pockets? It looks like it's got some pockets on it, but I can't really tell because it's black. Can't really see the detail on it. But yeah, there she goes. She's got her hand in a pocket. So, that would be something to work your way through. Has it got yes, it's got a centre back pleat, but all that volume, the shape on the bottom, the length of it, I love everything about it. And there's only one pattern that sprung to mind when I saw this. It's the Open Studio Choice shirt, or Choice pattern they call it. I purchased this not that long ago, and this pattern, they call it the Choice pattern because there are so many ways to hack this, and they give you full instructions on how to hack it. I think there's a video and detailed instructions on all these different versions that they have here. So obviously I would make one of the longer versions with the big, shape on the bottom hem. And yeah, this is the only pattern that sprung to mind when I saw the shirt on the Zebrano website. And I've got some fabrics that I have been in my stash for a long time. You must be sick of me saying that, but honestly, I just bought so many fabrics at one point that I'm just slowly working my way through them. But this has been around for a while. This fabric it's either all cotton or it's cotton and silk. And I'm sorry, I can't even remember where I got it from, but it was, at a time when I bought fabrics that was only natural fibre. I still mostly do, but for wintry fabrics, I don't mind a little bit of nylon or acrylic or polyester in some wintry fabrics. In my summery fabrics, I do definitely like them to be all natural fibres. And this is this gorgeous French blue. It's coming up much brighter on the screen than it is in real life. In real life, it is a very dusky, maybe that's a bit more like it, sort of blows out to very bright up there, but maybe that's a bit more like it, I think, in real life. And so this would look amazing in that shirt. It's got some really great body, and it would stand out from the body nicely, but not too much. It would also drape. I have this cotton. It is black, as you can see. Which is the right side? Well, I think this is the back side where it's all nice and smooth, and I think that where there's a little bit of texture is the front side. Isn't that lovely? So it's a lot softer and drapier than that last fabric that I showed you, and I think this also would look amazing in that choice pattern. And if I'm feeling brave, perhaps I would practice the shirt first. It's really the collar. I mean, obviously, people make shirts out of this sort of Georgette-y, visco-y, gauzy stuff all the time, but I haven't, so I would need to see how that goes. The collar might be a little bit tricky for me, but I think this would be gorgeous in that as well, an oversized shirt dress. This fabric came from, where did it come from? It came from Harmer and Huff, who have now sadly closed down, but yeah, I think that would look amazing in that shirt. There are just two more garments to show you that I found on my shopping expedition to Zebrano, and one of them is the metric top. I love the way they've used the black and the black and white stripe here, and I love that neckline. I think that is so cool. Wide, sort of slouchy, but not too slouchy because it's not a very wide collar. If that was much wider, that could be a nice slouchy sort of oversized funnel neck type thing. But yeah, like it in that short band but wide on the neck. Love the different colors on the sleeves there. Really like that asymmetrical shape to it. I haven't found a pattern that's kind of exactly like that. I have some options. I've had this sitting in my cupboard for a while. Is it a Marcy Tilton or a Catherine Tilton? Marcy Tilton. I'm not sure this one. This is probably my least favorite of the options that I have chosen. But it does have that sort of detail on the side there. It looks like it sort of wraps around to the front a little. Oh, sorry, putting that around the wrong way. It's sort of this bit wraps around to the front a little bit, and I do like that sort of how the hem is sort of brought in, so it's got that sort of cocoony shape to it. So that's a possibility. This one also, you can't see too much detail there, but you can see that it's got these on the side, these inserts, and I could just take one of those inserts off and finish the hem with my cover stitch or whatever. So that is an option. The neck is not Oh, it's a little bit sort of slouchy, that neckline. And there is this one, which has a slouchier, wider sort of neckline. Again, if you made that wider, that neckband wider, it would sort of flop down more. There is the, you can see on the front there, the piece that comes, and there's, oh yeah, on the back as well. So that's an option. But this one here, I've just made the Apollo. I love the neckline on the Apollo. So what I might end up doing, maybe, I suppose, is taking that neckline from the Apollo by Bella Loves Patterns and putting it on one of these other ones, maybe that one, and take off one of those points. I'm not sure. Maybe you know a pattern that looks very similar to the metric with that asymmetrical or something different on the hemline there. And I do like, as I say, that wide neck, sort of slouchy, sloppy collar. And last but not least, the Cozy Up long line hoodie. The designer is Lemon Tree, and Lemon Tree are another New Zealand fashion brand. So this, I love this. I'm always drawn to hoodie patterns and to sweatshirt patterns. I don't wear a lot of them. I think the ones I've made, I just think that this one here might be my hoodie sweatshirt pattern. The pattern that immediately sprung to mind is the Soto hoodie by Petite Stitchery. This pattern hasn't been around that long. I suppose it might probably be about a year now, I guess, actually, so maybe that is a while. But I snapped this up as soon as I saw it announced, and it's been sitting waiting for me to make it up. This has been on my plans to make for quite a while, and I'm hoping that I will eventually get around to doing it. But I've got two fabrics in my stash that will work nicely for this. One of them is this sort of sage green cotton French terry. It's quite a heavy weight. I think it was something like 300 GSM potentially. So that is an option. And also this was one of my first splurge purchases, a number of years ago when I got back into sewing. I splurged on this fabric. It's from, actually, I don't remember where it's from, but it's a New Zealand store here somewhere, obviously, or maybe not obviously. And this, I wish you could feel how soft and gorgeous this is. I cannot remember the makeup of it. I think there is some man-made in there, but it's gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And so I think this would look so nice in that Soto hoodie. It would be nice and drapey and snuggly, whereas the French terry would, obviously it's a heavier French terry, so maybe that's more suited to a jacket or something. But they're the two fabric options I have for this pattern, which is an option for the Cozy Up long line hoodie that I saw at Zebrano. It was just interesting to me that that day I went looking on that website. I fell in love with just about everything, but I wanted to make everything, with just that one exception of that dress. The which one is it? The Simone dress that's on sale at the moment. If I'm allowed, maybe I might buy that. But generally, I don't like to buy clothes these days. I like to make them. And so I just thought it was an interesting exercise for me to go and have a look and see what's around and see if I can come up with patterns to match, or to rather duplicate those garments. And really, apart from some of the garments that, had graphic prints on them and that obviously had fabrics printed for the designer, apart from that kind of thing that you can't duplicate, really what's available in the stores is everything that we can get as a sewing pattern, an indie usually, but not always, sewing pattern. Anyway, I'd better out of here because this video is so long. I'm sorry. I hope you've stuck around. If you have stuck around to the very end, thank you very much. I love that you did that, and I love that you're here with me on this channel. I look forward to seeing you next week. Please let me know down below what you're getting up to in your sewing room or sewing space. Let me know which of these garments you would like to make up yourself, what piqued your interest, and please let me know, especially for those couple of garments that I just had no idea of patterns. And if you've got any pattern suggestions, please feel free to let me know. Thank you for being here. See you next week.